The United States Constitution ensures the American people's specific rights. One of the most notorious amendments in the U.S. Constitution is the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Tragedies such as the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, the Virginia Tech School shooting, and the shooting that occurred in the Orlando nightclub has made this become a talking point in almost every election cycle within the past decade. There are generally two ways our elected officials would act towards this issue.
That in the right hands, lives can be saved too.
We need to renew the assault weapons ban. We need to end the sale of high-capacity magazines.
This amendment has also been used in political campaigns.
I own guns that no one's taken away.
Every year in the past 16 years, there's been at least 20 active shooter incidents, and that's about 220 in total. In September of 2018, right outside of Providence Career and Technical Academy, there was a high school student shot and killed. This caught the attention of many in the local community, and I wanted answers. I reached out to congressmen, mayors, mayoral candidates, senators, and non-politicians to get their input on this issue.
It's time for us to come up with a sensible resolution. I saw the blood on the sign. I was there on the scene, 2.5 hours standing there in a daze. Why? Because parents were grieving, crying, coming up to me, hugging me. Kobe, what do we do? And to be able to say, I don't know, is a tough feeling.
What we've been doing is going through training to make sure that, God forbid something happens, everyone in the building knows exactly what to do. What we've also done is we've done assessment of all of our schools to see where our security strengths and deficits are and make sure that we're beefing up, and we've been adding additional resources to do that, making sure there's cameras, there's electrified doors, and making sure that we're funneling all of the entrance into a school building through one common entryway that then they get screened by adults. So there's a lot that we've been doing and a lot that we're going to do. But this is something that keeps us up every single day as policymakers as we run the city. We need to make sure that, if anything, kids feel safe and comfortable coming to school, and it's an environment that's conducive to them continuing to learn.
There is a lot of good common sense gun safety legislation that ought to pass. Things like the super long magazines that have high capacity and can shoot large numbers of bullets is something. Making sure that background checks happen. Making sure that people who have various problems in their lives that ought to keep them from having a gun, that we're effective about making sure they don't get those guns. Those are things that are pretty hard to argue with. Even National Rifle Association members tend to agree with a lot of those things.
We need to make sure guns, again, are off the street. Anything and everything we can do, we need to be strategic with the police to make sure that happens. But it really needs to start. Guns are bad. Guns are not a good thing. Second Amendment issues are different. If you want to hunt, if you want to target practice, but that's not what we're talking about.
I'm very supportive of the Second Amendment. I think you have to have a very comprehensive set of laws. I think, depending on who's rating, we're amongst within the top 10 most restrictive and protective gun laws in the country. But yet, our citizens do have the right to bear arms and to protect themselves and to engage in sporting activities. So I think the balance is very appropriate, but I'm a very strong supporter of the Constitution and amongst all of the rights in the Constitution, the Second Amendment.
I noticed a common theme on how the Second Amendment defines what it means to be an American and what the American experience itself is.
Where we enjoy extraordinary freedoms.
First of all, I don't know what it would be to be anyone else but an American, and I think I'm fortunate for that. And everything that comes with that, freedom, opportunity, we could list it.
Raising our families in a place where we can feel as though we're safe.
We have a right to bear arms and just have the freedom to develop and be who you want to be.
My interpretation of those answers are that it's about our founding values, our freedoms, our choices, and the right to believe in our own solutions. We have the choice to purchase a firearm or not. We have the right to believe in the Second Amendment or be anti-Second Amendment. We have the right to believe in our own solutions, and we have the right to bear arms. That's what it means to be an American, and that's how the Second Amendment defines that.